Welcome to Star Watch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next. What really happened to Wong Ibo? And why did Xiao Zhan quietly appear at the hospital hours before sunrise? Fans are shaken. The industry is stunned. And behind the headlines is a story far more human, emotional, and powerful than anyone expected. Stay with us. What you're about to hear may change how you see both stars forever. In a shocking announcement that sent ripples across the entertainment world, Youwar Entertainment has confirmed that Wang Yibo, the beloved actor, singer, and cultural icon, has suffered a serious nasal injury, prompting an immediate and indefinite suspension of all public activities. What's even more surprising, Xiao Zhan, his former co-star and long-rumored close friend, was spotted visiting Wang at the medical center just hours after the news broke, a moment that has ignited both curiosity and compassion from fans around the globe. Wong Ibo's accident struck the entertainment world like an unexpected thunderclap, exposing the fragile foundations beneath the glitter of celebrity success. According to Youwar Entertainment, the injury happened during a private recreational break, yet that single, guarded phrase hides a far more unsettling reality. Doctors describe a complex nasal fracture, the kind that can compromise breathing, resonance, and even facial symmetry. For most people, such an injury is painful. For a performer whose livelihood relies on vocal clarity, stamina, and camera-ready confidence, it is potentially career-altering. Only a week ago, his latest drama had dominated streaming charts across North America, East Asia, and Europe, while pre-sales for his arena tour in Los Angeles, Seoul, Paris, and Sydney had surged threefold against forecasts. Overnight, those arenas have fallen silent, their operators scrambling to fill empty windows in the calendar. Luxury fashion houses that stitched entire campaigns around his image are convening emergency meetings. One Paris-based brand has already halted a multi-million-dollar billboard launch, unwilling to risk associating its signature fragrance with speculation about disfigurement. Insurers, meanwhile, face unprecedented claims as production schedules freeze and endorsement penalties loom. Even the motorcycle racing community, whose mainstream popularity in China rose largely on Wang's fearless persona, now finds sponsors hesitating, the sport's nascent surge wobbling on a single broken bone. Yet the true impact surpasses spreadsheets. In Beijing, stylists speak of a sudden hush in studio corridors once animated by his restless energy. In Manila and Jakarta, choreographers postpone entire workshop series, aware that attendance hinged on the promise of an appearance, however fleeting, by their idol. Streaming services that rely on his global fanbase are revising quarterly projections, bracing for a dip in engagement that no algorithm can offset. Investors call it a temporary market shock, but managers close to the actor call it a reckoning. A moment when an industry built on perpetual motion must confront its dependence on one young man's health. Paradoxically, this forced pause may reveal the depth of Wang Yibo's influence more clearly than any chart-topping release. Every suspended contract, every reshuffled production slate, every anxious message from a fan reminds us that cultural currency is ultimately measured not in clicks, but in how deeply a single artist can move the world, and how vulnerable that connection remains to the smallest twist of fate. In the half-lit hush before dawn, a lone black SUV pulled into the private entrance of Beijing Central Medical Center and delivered Xiao Zhan to the threshold of his former co-star's ward. For months, he and Wang Yibo had maintained a courteous, arm's-length public distance, the careful choreography of two careers intent on forging separate identities after the feverish success of their shared drama. Yet the moment the news of Yibo's injury surfaced, Xiao moved with a speed that ignored headlines and management protocols, choosing instead the most human response: to be present. Security staff recall the actor lowering his baseball cap, greeting nurses in a whisper, then disappearing behind an oak door that sealed off the intensive care suite. No official photographs exist, but witnesses speak of the muffled cadence of conversation, the soft scrape of a chair, and a stillness so charged it seemed to vibrate through the corridor walls. The visit lasted nearly 4 hours, an eternity in the accelerated tempo of celebrity schedules. Outside, reporters congregated, sensing a story far more compelling than any box office record. They understood the symbolic weight of Xiao's presence, a tacit acknowledgement that beyond professional branding, genuine loyalty survives. Fans, many of whom had once celebrated every shared laugh during promotional tours, felt their dormant hope rekindle. Hashtags combining both names surged across Twitter, Weibo, and Instagram, translated into Korean, Japanese, Thai and French within minutes by volunteer fandom translators. From Seoul cafes to Toronto dorm rooms, viewers replayed grainy footage of a security camera capturing Xiao's departing silhouette, analyzing every gesture for evidence of lingering affection or private regret. Industry insiders offered shrewder interpretations. Publicists noted that Xiao's unannounced appearance risked conflating their individual brands again, potentially limiting future roles that rely on distinct images. Nevertheless, they conceded, the visit was emotionally impeccable. Precisely the kind of unfiltered action that modern audiences recognize as authentic, because it cannot be stage-managed without leaving fingerprints of artifice. The moment also exposed an uncomfortable truth for executives who trade in narratives. The most compelling plotlines are still written by real lives. As dawn brightened the hospital facade, Xiao exited with reddened eyes, gave a silent nod to assembled press, and left without a statement. He offered no soundbite, no convenient closure, only the eloquence of presence. In doing so, he reminded a global audience that compassion is neither a marketing tactic nor a rumor to be confirmed. It is a decision enacted in private rooms, long before the world demands proof. Within minutes of the agency's statement, the digital sky lit up like a global aurora, each flare a message of concern for Wong Ibo. In New York, a university cinema club canceled its weekly screening and, instead, streamed a montage of Ibo's dance rehearsals, the improvised tribute accompanied by handwritten captions in English, Korean, and Baresa. In Osaka, commuters who normally scrolled wordlessly through morning headlines paused to watch a fan-made animation projected onto the side of Umeda Station, its watercolor frames urging passersby to breathe in time with the injured star. Across Seoul's Hongdae district, street musicians folded fragments of his debut single into late-night sets. Strangers stopped, filmed, and posted the impromptu requiem, turning an ordinary corner into a digital vigil. Social networks wove these gestures into a tapestry no algorithm could predict. French fashion students sold limited edition tote bags bearing the slogan Courage, Ibo, donating the proceeds to Médecins Sans Frontières Reconstructive Surgery Fund. In Quezon, city gamers organized a 48-hour livestream marathon, their avatars racing on virtual tracks that echoed the actors' love of motorbikes. Viewers pledged half-dollar increments for every completed lap, raising more than $14,000 for a children's hospital in Beijing before the final flag dropped. Indonesian fans, mindful of earthquake season, launched Project Helmet, distributing protective gear to rural schools in honor of what they called Ibo's unbroken spirit. Yet the most striking response was silence. At precisely midnight Beijing time, accounts from Vancouver to Vienna agreed to go dark for 60 seconds. A coordinated blackout that left timelines eerily blank. In that hush, screens around the world reflected nothing but the faces of their holders, reminding millions that fandom is a shared act of vulnerability. When the feeds returned, they carried handwritten notes translated into 15 languages, each beginning with the same line, "Take the time you need. We'll be right here." Industry analysts will tally impressions and calculate engagement rates, but numbers cannot quantify the quiet decisions people made. Postponing deadlines, writing letters, learning Mandarin pronunciation so their messages would sound softer when Ibo finally presses play and listens. The truest measure of influence proved to be the willingness of strangers to lend hope to someone they may never meet. Their collective promise was simple yet profound. You heal, we'll wait, and the stage will remain yours. For them, his art had always been a meeting place. It remains open, lights dimmed. Wang Yibo's enforced pause has quietly opened a window that the breakneck machinery of entertainment rarely allows. A moment to reconsider the value of pace, purpose, and presence. When a performer as relentlessly active as Ibo is compelled to step off the track, the silence that follows can feel threatening, yet within it lies the potential for creative and personal recalibration. Medical specialists speak of a staged recovery. Reconstruction, rehabilitation, then gradual reconditioning of voice and breathing. But beyond the clinic walls, another restoration is underway. Colleagues who once scheduled meetings in 10-minute bursts now find themselves writing longer messages of encouragement. Directors who measured success in daily shooting ratios are studying how to weave hiatuses into production calendars so that human well-being is not an afterthought but a precondition. Fans, too, are reassessing what they expect from their idols. The manic appetite for constant updates has softened into a slower, more mindful rhythm. Book clubs exchanging essays on resilience. Dance crews revisiting Ibo's early choreography with an emphasis on technique over spectacle. Language learners honing Mandarin tones not for trending clips, but to grasp the nuances of future interviews. Even brand partners are exploring campaigns that highlight recovery and authenticity rather than unattainable perfection, suggesting a future where endorsement is not predicated on flawlessness, but on genuine narrative arcs. For Ibo himself, friends hint at notebooks filling with song fragments and journal entries, ideas that may never have surfaced amid the roar of touring buses and film sets. Some close to him whisper about a possible charity ride across rural provinces once he is cleared to return to a motorbike, raising funds for trauma care in underserved communities. Others mention a documentary that would follow his rehabilitation, not as spectacle but as an honest conversation about vulnerability in an industry allergic to weakness. Whether these plans materialize is secondary to what they signify. The injury has reframed ambition from conquest to contribution. As the swelling subsides and the cameras begin to circle again, the most significant change may be invisible. An artist who understands that the strength audiences admire is inseparable from the fragility that makes him human. In that understanding, there is space for deeper art, kinder schedules, and a relationship with the public built less on velocity than on the steady cadence of shared growth. Wang Yibo's accident is more than just entertainment news. It's a reminder of how quickly life can change. It's about vulnerability, healing, and the quiet strength it takes to start over. And in the end, it's about the invisible bonds that still connect people even when the cameras stop rolling. If the story touched you, inspired you, or made you feel something, don't keep it to yourself. Leave a comment below with your wishes for Ibo and what this moment means to you. And please, subscribe to our channel Starwatch now for more heartfelt updates on your favorite stars, told with care, depth, and respect. Until next time, stay kind, stay inspired, and keep watching the stars. Because sometimes the most beautiful stories are the ones still being written. Glowing star.